In the foothills of the Himalayas in Nepal, there lives a brave tribe of Gurung who risk their lives climbing 300 feet in a bamboo rope and harvest honey from one of the biggest and most dangerous honeybees in the world, the great Himalayan giant honeybees. We began our journey from the capital city of Nepal, Kathmandu. We rode through Muglin, Dumre and Bhoteodar. From Bhoteodar, it was completely off-road on the hills. It was already dark and it was raining all the time. The road became muddy and slippery. You can see the conditions of our bike and of course, our shoes explain the difficulties of our journey. It took about 4 hours to reach Chotikhola, where we spent our first night. Our hotel rooms were already booked and delicious food in local hospitality made our day.
Good morning everyone. हिजो रातिको राइडले गर्दा हामी भर्खर उठ्यो, ब्रेकफास्ट पनि भर्खर गर्यो, चिया हातमा छ, चिया खाइरहेको छु भर्खरै है। अनि अब बेसिकली अब एकछिनपछि चाहिँ हामी प्याकअप गरेर चाहिँ यहाँदेखि अब हाम्रो नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेसनमा जान्छौँ होला हामी। नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेसन चाहिँ हाम्रो ताजे भन्ने ठाउँ हो जहाँ चाहिँ अब हनी हन्टर्सले आज रोपदेखि लिएर सबै टाँगेर गर्नुहुन्छ अरे, प्रिपेयर गर्नुहुन्छ अरे सबै कुराहरू। अब त्यसपछि भोलिदेखि चाहिँ मेन काम स्टार्ट हुन्छ अरे हनी हन्टिङ।
We packed our bags and traveled to Tanje village, our home for the next few days. It took us 4 hours to reach the village. The village is home to 200 people and it is protected by a thick jungle. Most of the inhabitants are farmers cultivating rice, corn and vegetables. However, they do not sell what they grow. For income, they shear wool from the sheep and produce handmade clothes and mattresses. Life is not easy in many parts of Nepal, but in this foggy air, we definitely could feel the warmth, kindness, affection and the indomitable spirit of these people. We had our lunch and rested for a while. According to local people, about 200 years ago, two tribes of Gurungs and Ghalis left Tibet searching for a new settlement. Then they found a valley with agricultural lands but dominated by the tallest hills. This is the place where they ruled and practiced one of the most challenging occupations in the world, the high cliff honey hunting. They started to collect wild honey and began trading, and in no time, honey hunting became their pride and tradition. That day's work was to go see the temporary place of hill where the hunters prepare for the battle against the most dangerous honeybees, Ambrosia. The hunters work in a democratic system. They divide their tasks to each individual. This time, 18 daredevils will conquer the cliff. Most of them are elders and 4 of them are younger. Few of them started working on preparing the ropes made up of braided strips of bamboo. They claim that the honey reaches its highest quality in the month of May and June, so it was the right time to hunt. He even showed us how to cover themselves with bakhu during the bees attack. Despite the speculation that there might be an end to the traditional honey hunting, they believe that it will be carried out by new generations and will continue for ages.
मेरो नाम कृष्णबहादुर तामाङ हो। अब यस्तो गऱ्यो हामीले लगभग 45 वर्ष हामी सानोदेखि नै यसरी हिँड्यो।
अनि
अनि बुढापाकाहरूसँग
अँ
अनि हुँदा हुँदै अहिले बुढा भयो अहिले हामीभन्दा अब सानो भाइहरू छ उहाँले गर्छ मैले चाहिँ खासै त हामीले त के अरे 15-20 वर्षदेखि नै सुरु गरे हो 45 वर्ष हामीले यो काम नै गरिसकेको छ अब यो चाहिँ यस्तो हो खासै जीविका चलाउन चाहिँ यसले पुग्दैन तर हामीले सिजनमा चाहिँ फाल्टो बस्ने भन्दा गर्ने भनेर मात्रै हो
अनि बाजे के भन्छ सबैले यो हनी हन्टिङको चाहिँ लास्ट हो यहाँभन्दा चाहिँ हुँदैन मतलब जेनेरेसन चाहिँ अब यति नै हो अब आउने हुन्छ नि तिनीहरूले चाहिँ गर्दैनन् भन्ने जस्तो छ कुरा यसको चाहिँ के हो मलाई चाहिँ भनिदिनु न
अब त्यो किनभने अब यहाँ भइरह्यो भन्दा त्यो त अवश्य अब त्यो किनभने गुरु भए चाहिँ चेला हुन्छ कि त्यो जसरी पनि गर्छ गर्दैन भन्नु चाहिँ छैन अहिले जुग जमानले गर्दा अलिक गर्दैन भन्ने एउटा शङ्का हो त्यो शङ्का लिनु पर्दैन अवश्य नै गर्छ एउटा न एउटा निस्किन्छ यो चाहिँ टुट्दैन होला अब यो यस्तो हुन्छ अब यो सबै फालफुलकै कुरा हो त्यो बिग हुन्छ लेगमा त्यही अब फुलहरूमा बिग हुन्छ त्यही बिगबाट हामी लाग्ने
We returned back to the Tanje village and we spent the night there. The next morning, we woke up early and prepared for the day of the hunting. The ladder is made up of these ropes, keeping space for fitting the shards of wood prepared by few others using nefo, a special kind of tree. They are then fixed with the bamboo shoots to make the joints tightened. We distributed our t-shirts along with the food packages sponsored by Vosdils, a company who delivers food in Kathmandu.
यस्तो झुम्रो रुम्लो लाग्यो अहिले यस्तो टी-शर्ट बनाउँदा एकदमै खुसी भयो हजुरले मुरी धन्यवाद छ
सबैजनालाई छ यो लिदिनु भयो
Krishnabahadur Tamang opened his packages and shared the food with his fellow hunters. They loved this nice gesture by Bosdils and thoroughly enjoyed the food. Everyone started packing up and then they started moving towards the hunting cliffs carrying their respective equipments. Some carried rope, some carried basket, some had ladder on their shoulders. They still have some more miles to walk. The journey was safer compared to the older days as an ongoing hydropower project had constructed roads. While Krishnabahadur Tamang is filling his gallon with ice-cold natural drinking water, which he will need for sure. Before reaching the cliffs, they had to cross a freezing cold, down-rushing river originated from the mountains nearby, which is also the source of energy for the operation of that hydropower plant. They needed each other's support as it was challenging to cross the river due to big slippery stones. Each area has its own distinctive style of honey hunting to suit their local resources and bees. The Tanje hunters divide their team in two groups. One group stays at the base of the cliff, while other group climbs to the top. Some young hunters at the base go for collecting woods and foliage. They might have to cut down some trees if needed. They have to create a fire using a foliage to disseminate the honeybees. The cliff is so high that the smoke might not reach the beehive. So they use the wood to make a temporary ladder to reach a suitable height. They climb up the stairs and as they reach the height, they pull a bunch of leaves passed by the rest of the hunters. We were quietly observing all their activities sitting on the other side of the river. One of our team members was caught by a leech. We were feeling terribly hungry. Our local friend Manraj Ghale brought something for us to eat. He got us some boiled potatoes, noodles, and biscuits. It was our brunch time. They wear masks made up of mosquito nets to protect their face from bee sting. Other than that, they don't use any other protective clothing as they have developed some spiritual bond with the bees. The group at the base starts creating smoke, lighting a fire with the help of woods and foliages so that the bees get dispersed from the lower edges of their combs, leaving the brood and honey sections of the comb clearly visible. Another group suspends the ladder from the top of the cliff. The ladder is tightly affixed to the trees at the upper end. The honey hunter Mongol Gurung is fastened to the ladder by a rope. He slowly descends the rope ladder with 2 nigalos attached to him, while others at the top make sure that the rope is gripped securely. He waits for the smoke to drive thousands of bees out of their nest before moving further down. The hunters signal each other using hand gestures and by blowing whistles. As the hunter reaches the nest to be harvested, a large oven basket is lowered at the nest side through another rope. He then jousts tentatively at a nest using a nigalo with a wooden plate at one end, cutting the exposed brood portion of the honeycomb away from the cliff face. The basket is guided by another nigalo to catch the chunks of the honey as they drop down. When full, the basket is lowered down to the base of the cliff. While cursing, a retired hunter silently observes his successors, seeking how effectively they are following his footsteps. The group on the base receives the honey-filled basket and pours it to the strainer, where the impurities are filtered out. The refined honey then gets collected in the container. After the process, the basket is again sent back to the hunter for collecting more honeycombs. It may take about 2 to 3 hours just to harvest one of the many beehives. The granutoxin present in the honey has some healing qualities as well. This mad honey is traded to countries like Korea, China, and Japan, where they use it for medicinal purpose. They tasted some honey by themselves and offered us as well. So I gave it a taste.
So guys, I'm about to taste the yako honey, eh? Let's see. Gopal.
And we took some organic honey with us. This treacherous tradition, which dates back to hundreds of years, holds a great religious and cultural importance in this indigenous community. We left the village filled with immense respect for these fearless hunters. It was the experience of a lifetime. For countless travelers across the world, in the past and in the present, the culture and landscape of Nepal have been a dream destination for their exploration, grandeur, and to live up to their imagination. The mystery that lies in its houses, sculptures, plants, and atmosphere had always been a secret for us and most of the world.